Good afternoon everybody and welcome to TYROLIT Tool School. I hope you're all doing well and that things are going smoothly for you. What are we going to do today? We're going to talk about something smooth today, and that is mirror finishing. Absolutely. Today we're going to talk about the removal of a stainless steel small welding seam and a mirror finish obtained on a stainless steel tube. That's the goal of the training for today. So what do we need for obtaining that goal is, first of all, we need an angle grinder with a variable speed. Variable speed is essential. Absolutely essential. The reason why that is essential is because we will be working with products that require a lower speed to work optimal and also to perform as it should be. Also because the products we're going to be using today don't need 11,000 RPM or anything like that. They need a lower speed to reduce heat development, also on the workpiece, so that we don't get any discoloration during the polishing process. So for that we do need absolutely a variable speed angle grinder. But if you do have that, the possibilities are absolutely interesting. So this is what we really want to try. First of all, we're going to remove that welding seam on top of this. So because as you can see, this is pretty much material to remove as for a welding seam. So what do we need for that? We need actually a TFC disc, a TYROLIT fast change disc, or a velcro disc grit 120. So this disc is aggressive enough to remove the welding seam, and because of the 120 grit size, it will leave a surface that is fine enough to get to a polishing process. So the 120 grit to remove that welding seam without overheating the workpiece, of course, and fine enough to polish that afterwards. So if we would work with a 36 grit, of course it's going to remove the welding seam, but it will not be a surface ready for polishing afterwards. So for this case, we want the 120 grit for something as a tiny welding seam like that to remove it. Also, we need a backup pad for a velcro disc. So that's an easy velcro TFC backup pad for an angle grinder with an M14 mounting system. Absolutely very standard and practical, of course, for a velcro or TFC disc. Try to put that as centered as possible, and we're going to start by removing the welding seam. So I will work with low pressure. Let the disc do its job. Don't start forcing it down on it. You don't need to remove too much material. It needs to be gentle. So not too much pressure on that. Speed also is going to be around 4,500 RPM. Absolutely fine. Fast enough to remove that without overheating. Light pressure. That's it, done. Welding seam is gone, absolutely nice. You can see also the scratches that are now in that tube. Also, you will see, if you look at that, there are part like facets, like straight edges that you see there. Those we need to remove. Also, we need to refine that a little bit before we can polish that. So, but as a starting point, this is ideal. With this, you can move on towards a polishing process. Now, there's a small tip that I want to give to you when you work with stuff like this in order to get to a mirror finish. Let's say that you have a square tube a square tube. So you start grinding on there, you start removing the welding seams, you start to finish that up. You have to go in 2 directions so that you have actually a crossover in order to refine and also make visible the scratches that you don't see. So for that you always work in 2 directions, one way like that and the other way like that, with, in this case, with the Velcro disc, and also later on with the conditioning disc and the pre-polishing disc. So if you work on square parts like that, or a flat part, a sheet, something like that, a plate, then remember, work with that cross finishing that you do on that work plate, on that workpiece. So this is a small tip that I wanted to give to you in order to get the best result at the end. Now, what else do we need? We need this, the tin box of TYROLIT polishing system. A small program, very practical, very easy, very uncomplicated. Why very uncomplicated? Because you work with an angle grinder. It's not a fancy tool, it's a very common tool. It's an easy tool. Like this, you have a nice combination to get to a mirror finish with an easy system. So the first thing we will be using from this tin is actually the conditioning disc. Surface conditioning material that will allow us to remove or the scratches that we created, to reduce the depth of those scratches on that surface. Get it ready for mirror finishing. Also, what you will find if you open that box is a leaflet, a small leaflet that gives you a little bit of information on the different products and the different steps that you do by using that system. So this is also you will see a small QR code that guides you to a small movie about the mirror finishing system that we have. Final thing, I said this conditioning disc. There's a small thing that I also forgot to tell you is, if you have a tiny welding seam like on this edge here, yep, there you go, on this edge here, this part there that you see, this is a tiny weld. Now if you want to remove that, you could actually do this with a surface conditioning disc. The HD medium is absolutely suitable to remove that welding seam without damaging anything. It is designed to do that. It is a little bit more aggressive than the normal medium range or the medium version. This is the HD, the heavy duty, that will allow to remove that welding seam and get that ready for a further step. This is also something, a small tip, small information that I can give to you in order to get or use stuff like that. So the surface conditioning HD medium for the removal of a tiny welding seam on the edge of a part. So back to our conditioning disc. There we go. Then speed dropping to 2.5, 3,000 RPM, absolutely, you're absolutely fine with that. A bit of power, and now we're gonna refine that surface, getting it ready to the next step, for the next level. Low pressure. There we go. Done. So now what is cool is you can actually see that the edges, the facets that were there before, they're gone. It's back completely nicely rounded up as it should be. Also, you can see that the depth of the scratches has been reduced. It's been less. getting it ready for the next step in order to get to the mirror finish. So this is absolutely going the way that I would like to go. So it is a good thing. So the next thing we need is a unitized wheel. A unitized wheel or compressed wheel. Compressed wheel that has a lower density, is you might even say a little bit softer. That's gonna refine those scratches that are left in that workpiece, refine them, get them finer, get them ready to the last stage, and which is then indeed getting to the mirror finish. So this is an important step. The conditioning disc and the pre-polish disc are absolutely important steps towards getting to the mirror finish. If those two steps are done well, also light is important, that you can see what you're doing. If you have all those elements, you can actually get to a very good mirror finish on that workpiece. So let's put it on there. Speed, again, 2.5, 3,000 RPM, absolutely fine. If you would go with this on 8, 10,000 RPM, it's senseless, doesn't make sense, because the disc isn't going to work faster and you will get a smearing problem because of the fibers that are in there. They will melt and will indeed smear on your workpiece. So reduce the speed. You will need a variable speed angle grinder anyway because of the polishing disc, because there the speed must really be low. In this case, reduce the speed here as well. All right, enough talking. Let's start finishing this up, ready for polishing. There we go. As you can see, this is getting to almost a matte finish. Almost to a point where you look like, this is very glossy, but it's still a matte finish. This is indeed what we want to have. A matte finish, getting it ready for the mirror finish. So scratches have been refined. They're almost, even with glasses, they're almost not visible anymore as it should be. So this case, this is really, really getting ready for finishing. Now, I want to show you quickly something away from this part. I'm going to use quickly something else and go back to this in a minute. Is what else you can do with, let's see, there we go, with this pre-polished disc, with this one there, is also removing the bluing, the colors after the welding, to remove that quickly and see what happens there. This is also something that can be done. Let me put that a little bit more. There we go. This is going to be nicer. There you can see, there you have the brown color, the blue from welding. And to remove that quickly without anything else, you don't change anything, you don't take anything from material, just clean that up, quickly done like that. Look at that. That's what I also wanted to show you, is that wheels like that, a unitized wheel, can absolutely be used for something like that. Preparation for or cleaning up a welding seam without doing anything else. And as you can see, this looks like a very, very nice finish. This is what is also where products like that are also being made for. So back to our original part, where we're gonna get a mirror finish on. What do we need for that? We need a polishing mop. This is our polishing disc. There we go. As you can see, a felt polishing disc that if we would work with that, that's not going to work. We need something else as well. We also need, and this is also in the tin, is polishing compound. Polishing compound, in this case the blue one, the blue polishing compound. Blue polishing compound is for mirror finishing. Mirror finishing is really high gloss finish. We have two other kinds as well. We have a brown one, which is very, very suitable for anything non-ferrous, and we have a white one where there is a little amount of fine abrasive still included in that compound for if you need an additional step before getting to a mirror finish. In this case, we can absolutely use the blue one immediately. So we're going to use the disc for that, and we're going to put the compound on there. How do we do that? It's very easy. Let the machine spin. And there we go. Lowest speed, in this case 2000 RPM, bit of pressure. We need a little bit more compound. Yeah, that's it. We're getting there. Look at that. Now, a cleaning cloth to just remove the excess of compound that is still on that tube. And there we go. Mirror finish on that part. Absolutely. Very nice, shiny, as it should be. Scratches are gone. Yes, they are gone, so which is good. Now, this is great. This thing is cool. A very nice, easy, efficient system for getting to a mirror finish, together combined with a tool that is common. An angle grinder, variable speed angle grinder. The two together actually create a finish like that, which is kind of cool. Now, is this a system for doing square meters of material? No, it's not. It really isn't. You're not going to do square 2, 3, 4 square meters of material with a system like that. There are other systems available or something like that. But for small jobs, small repair jobs, you install something, there's a small scratch, you need to refine that, redo that, polish it up, done. You can do it with that. Absolutely practical, easy, makes sense. Also, for instance, if you have a small polishing job at home, like we still have one from my grandparents, is this copper kettle, like the big thing that you want to bring up to a gold finish, a gold colored finish again. You can do that as well. You can use exactly that pad, the polishing pad with the compound, and clean that up. So these are possibilities that a small system like that create. It really is a small, efficient set for small mirror finishing jobs. Absolutely nice. Also, of course, as I showed you before, you can use the parts also for taking out or removing the bluing after welding on stainless steel. Works there as well, not a problem at all. So this is what I wanted to show you today. So hope you enjoyed that. That was okay for you. And I'm absolutely thankful for you being here and looking forward to seeing you. Some guys I will be seeing next week in the UK, and otherwise till next time at TYROLIT Tool School. Be well and all the best. Cheers. Bye bye. Take care.